When you are developing radical innovation, you're definitely going against the flow. Lots of naysayers, many people told us that what we're doing will never work and so on. So you really need to be stubborn, resilient, and believe in what we do and believe that what you are developing is adding value to our society. So my name is Sébastien Gendron. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Transpod, which is the Canadian company developing a tube transportation concept known under the name of hyperloop. When you start your company early on, you need to have a clear path for funding, or at least some strong initiative where you'll get some initial funding to kick off the business. You need to show lots of resilience. There's a quote from Churchill I really like, is act like if it was impossible to fail, and that's critical as an entrepreneur if you want to succeed. And then keep pushing until you have some initial successes to move forward, because the first, I would say, 3 to 5 years are usually really, really difficult. Don't be shy to share your project, your idea to as many people as you can. Try to partner with people who have access to many investors, and 99% of those investors said no, but the more people you talk to, the more chances you have to find the 1% interested in your company.